Welcome to another episode of HackLab podcast. Today, we are diving into a critical topic: how prepared are Indian cities for fire emergencies? We'll explore infrastructure challenges, response times, and gaps in urban safety with real stories and expert insights from Mr. Mihir Kumar, who is a senior manager, fire and safety at DLF Power and Service Limited. Stay tuned as we uncover what's needed to make our cities safer for everyone. Thank you, Mihir, for joining us today. As we start our conversation, I would request you to introduce yourself for our audience.
Thank you, Amber, to call me here and giving this opportunity to come into your podcast. Uh, I would like to wish every viewer of yours a very happy new year. And my name is Mihir Kumar with over 18 years of experience in buildings like skyscrapers, high rise buildings. You can say I work with commercial buildings, multiplexes, hospitals, malls. So in that period, 18 years of period, I worked with some of the best organization of India. I am working as a senior fire safety manager in DLF Power Service Limited currently. But before that, I worked with Inox Leisure Limited as a regional head fire and safety for North India. And I also looked after the hospital of Max Hospital for more than 2 years. So that's about my experience so far. So I look forward to share my insights and engage in conversation that is you have chosen very important topics, that is how prepared are Indian cities to handle fire emergency. So I must appreciate Amber for choosing this topic, and I look forward to share my insight and have engaging conversation with you.
So, let's get started with our conversation. What are the biggest challenges Indian cities face in handling fire emergencies, and how adequate is the fire safety infrastructure in major Indian cities?
If you say the main challenge that rise from the urbanization, the rapid growth of urban area without having any proper planning. City being developed so rapidly, but the planning according to the development is lacking in most of the city. You talk about Gurgaon, you talk about Delhi, you talk about Mumbai. So that creates itself a big problem. If you see, there are unregulated structures are being built, and the path or the road that is there available, it is not getting developed as required, as per requirement. So a road, narrow road, unregularized structure, and then we do not have such type of facility infrastructure, like we do not have a centralized fire hydrant system for cities. You can name many cities that are available. You won't find any hydrant system there. In Delhi it is there, but in Gurgaon, if you see, there is no hydrant system on public area. So it is a big challenge. Next challenge that is available is the public awareness. Public awareness is the another important challenge that is creating a very big problem for fire service to tackle any emergency in big cities. There are regulations in place, but the enforcement is inconsistent at many places. If you see, if you pick any cities, any metro cities even, you will see one building has all the arrangement, and it depends completely on the builders how they are maintaining their system, how they have followed the regulation. In other building, you will find the system is in such a pathetic condition. It is not in use, and public are not aware, and they don't believe it is their responsibility. It is everyone's responsibility to prepare for such type of emergency. If anything happen, in that case they have to act accordingly as per requirement or as per standard procedure, whatever been set by the builders or organization. But they don't care hardly. They simply believe, some of the organization you will find, it is completely the responsibility of facility team or the security staff to take care of the emergency situation. But it is not like that. If every members or every occupants in the building is not aware about their roles, and they don't know how to act in case of fire emergency, then it is always going to give a big problem, and fire service is not going to help that much. they also need support, they also need some time to act. They will come there, it will take some time. Due to urbanization, I talked about the challenges they have. It takes time to reach to the location, then they expect to get the idea of the whole situation, what is happening, what is the constructions like, and how the layout is being made. So these things we need to, as a public or as a occupants of the high rise building especially, we need to make aware everyone. It is their responsibility, it is everyone's responsibility to take care, those to prevent or take care for themselves at least, to handle any such emergency. I talked one important challenges here, inconsistency or in enforcement of regulation. That is also, it may be due to corruption, or some of the fire service don't have that manpower or that resources so that they can enforce the regulation in entire city. I would say every building is important. If anything happened in city, that is important for everyone, and fire service is going to take in like seriously to every incident they are getting call from. So it is very important that we enforce regulation in consistent way. In I talked about the inconsistency. One building has so many arrangement and other building has is lacking even a basic fire extinguishers are not placed, and the fire hydrant or sprinkler system do not have water. So these are the few challenges that I believe we need to take care, and we have to do something to
Sure.
tackle these challenges.
Sure, mate.
And your second part was adequacy. So adequacy, yes, due to rapid urbanization, this is also the biggest challenge. We developed our city, but we are not following the requirement that is suggested in the National Building Code, or in one of the standing fire advisory committee meeting. It was also raised, like within 10-kilometer radius. In NBC, it is saying 5 to 7 kilometer of radius we should have one fire station, but it is not there. There are so many gaps still there. Government has to take a proactive approach while developing these cities to take see whether these arrangements are there, whether these facilities are available to city occupants or not. So this is one of the challenges that adequacy issues that fire service face. And the other thing, like we have fire station, but due to shortfall in manpower, there are so many shortfall in manpower. You will find, if you see the data available on internet, in India, in bigger city, if I talk about metro city, Delhi, Mumbai, the ratio of population and the firefighter available is around 9 to 10,000. On 9 to 10,000 public, you have one firefighter available only. If you see in the developed city like US, UK, you will find it is averaging around 1,000 or 1,200 only. So we need to do something to fill this gap also. Adequacy, you can consider one more thing like equipment. Fire services are not developing themselves as per the requirement. We are allowing like 100-meter building to be raised. There are so many skyscrapers in bigger cities, but whether they have the facility to tackle any fire situation in those buildings, clearly not. Even if they have one or two skylift type of thing or hydraulic platform, that is not maintained because they do not have budget. They have budget constraint, and they are not able to maintain those equipment. And during many, we have joint exercises in our building. We call them for demonstration and to support us, just to see whether they are prepared or not. But you will see their equipments are not working. Sometimes their hoses are, it is leaking from like many places. You will see their hydrant system is their systems like pump system on fire tender is not getting properly connected, and there are leakages. So these type of observation is really inadequate in terms of the arrangement we see in the bigger cities. So we need to make them adequate at least. All firefighters are giving their best, I know. They are giving their best and they put their lives on saving any public's lives. So I salute to all of them. But if they are not equipped properly, they do not have PPE, they do not have equipment in place, how can we expect them to act or save ourselves?
Moving forward, How have urban planning issues like narrow roads or high density areas, like you mentioned, impacted fire safety during emergencies?
Most of the incident are not getting actually reported. You don't have timing, you don't get any data from the fire service how much time they took to reach to the location. Don't go with the internet data. It is quite different what we are seeing. Okay, if you see like some infamous fire incident that happened in the past that highlighted these issues, I have one fire incident data available with me, that is Naz Mandi fire in 2019, where 43 deaths was resulted due to that fire. So it was in one factory building that happened, and clearly fire service reached so late there because the road was not good, and it was so narrow, and constructions was there, unauthorized constructions was there, so that delayed the response of the fire service to reach there. That shows if timely they could reach to the location, at least we can minimize the damage that caused. In 1997, if you see the Upahar cinema case, that actually was the most infamous fire case in Indian history, I would say, Indian fire service history. That actually took the attention of the government, and government started to take care and giving more support to the fire service and started upgradation of some of the fire services also. So incident that happens in the past gives us the lesson. At the same time, it takes attention from the government and the private sectors, more I would say more private players to come in and support the fire service. It's not only blaming the fire service only. We need to support in all way to make them more prepared and make them more strengthened, so that we can expect more from them. In Upal Cinema, what happened? Their systems were not working, and there was no such regulation in that time also, and enforcement was very poor. People were not aware. The exit found blocked, and the basic fire safety arrangement did not work. So, what impact did it have on like builders? They have to go behind the bar, and we still hear some news about that. So that is one of the lesson that took, like fire service role is very important, and we need to focus more in terms of giving them the more priority and giving them more support and providing them budget and equipment. So these are some incident that was very important, and that specifically highlighting the issue that bigger city are facing these days.
So, are there any cities in India that have set positive examples in fire safety preparedness? And if so, what we can learn from them?
I would rate Mumbai as one of the leader in like India as a fire service. In 2017, there was a fire incident that happened in Mumbai, and that changed completely. Kamla Mill fire incident, and that completely changed the scenario there. And the fire service had taken so many good initiative to improve their fire safety preparedness of the city. So they have created a disaster management cell that works in coordination with them, and they have started to doing more frequent audits of the building. They have started to enforce the regulations more in a more stringent way. So also they are trying to bring some private players also to conduct several audits, drills, and their training program has also improved. One is Mumbai. A second one, I would say, of Surat, that coaching fire incident that happened in 2019, I believe. So after that, this Surat a local fire service, they have started so many initiative. They started they started doing these several programs related with public awareness. They started giving fire safety awareness to public, and they started checking each and every coaching center after that, each and every facility after that, and making sure the city is safe, and that incident that happened in the past is not getting repeated again. Second, I would say one I read in newspaper one day that Hyderabad, they have started to engage private companies also to do the audit and training. And Chennai, they have started GIS to simply to locate the high hazard area of their city, and to locate the hydrant system or path, from which path they can access to the fire incident in minimum time. So these are few things that I would like to highlight here. It's not like we are not doing anything. There are cities fire service, they are trying their best and they are trying to engage and include some of the initiative in their programs, so that the response can be strengthened and the safety of the public can be ensured. And if you see the technology that is coming in place, we have hydraulic platform is already there. Some of these bigger city have already purchased it and they try to maintain it, and other introduction of drone firefighting arrangement, so they have started to using the drone also to fight the fire. So that is also helpful. If you see the bigger cities, mainly in metro city, they have the thermal imaging camera also. They are using the thermal imaging camera to locate the fire as well as the any body if it is trapped in any debris or building collapse. So these are some of the technology that they are using to develop themselves and strengthen their importance and the response preparedness.
Sure,
Yes.
Mihir. I was thinking, can you tell us about Delhi NCR or Bangalore, like where we are right now, and what other things should these big metropolitan cities should do in order to improve safety?
Look, Delhi NCR. I have to talk about Delhi NCR. In Gurgaon, you will see now it's started. Some of the private organization have started their own fire station. DLF, there are two already there. Maruti has fire station and M3M has started recently fire station. So it is good to see that even if a public private organization are also getting engaged into that, and that is helping actually, because whatever private organization are doing, that is linked with the government fire service also. If they require, they have to support in case of emergency. Same thing we can start. Government has to give more budget to the fire service so that they can buy some new equipment, and also the maintenance part. We are hardly carrying any importance in terms of giving the importance to maintaining the equipment. So that is very important. If government start giving the AMCs or annual maintenance contract of all the equipment of fire stations, so it will reduce the load of the fire personnel also, and at the same time so we will have ready equipment to act in case of any fire emergency. In Delhi, last year or 2 years back, government like Arvind Kejriwal has given some PPE suit to the fire staff in fire service. So that was also heartening to see that, and we need to improve the fire stations condition here in Delhi NCR also. If you see, if you go to any fire station, you will feel like they are not motivated, they are not feeling fully equipped and confident themselves. So we need to give them the proper equipment and the facility and the budget, and private sector can support by giving them the donation or something, by adopting any fire station. That I was thinking about that. If Delhi, if in Delhi almost 66 or 67 fire stations are there. If one private organization adopt one fire station for their maintenance and improvement or developing, so that would help in many way.
Yes, Mihir, that's a very good idea. Yeah. So moving forward, I was thinking we should talk about some innovative technologies that we can use, and those can be useful in fires to prevent or improve fire safety in Indian cities.
If we see the technology that is being used or we see on internet and we talk in our group, one of these is GIS. So that geographic information system, that is very important to locate the high risk area and to locate the fire hydrant system, and it is also in use in some of the fire services in India is also started using, so we can make it more familiar or available to our and other fire services also. We can use drone as a surveillance system also. We have some like thermal imaging camera. It is costly, but we can procure and ask fire service to start using that. And we can use AI based system also, AI based fire detection system, that would be helpful also in terms of minimizing the delay in detections, and it can easily detect at early stage of any fire occurs. IoT, Internet of Things based thing, that is also increasing in demand, and some of the private organizations are also started considering it. So these are the few new development that we can ask the developer to develop for our fire service requirement. So I'm not saying these are fixed thing. We have still so much scope to develop. If we invest in this, if government is ready to pay to the like, so many AI thing is happening, so many IoT things are happening in like today's world. So if we explore as per our requirement, there are so many things available in the market that can be incorporated, and it will be helpful for our city fire service to develop themselves and being more strength, getting more strength, and they will be more prepared to respond in case of any fire emergency.
Can you share a success story that illustrates how proper fire safety measures saved lives or minimized damages?
Yes, so I have one incident in my mind right now. So 2 3 years back, what happened in one of the restaurant in a building managed by me under my purview. So what happened? One of the restaurant, the kitchen staff left the stove on, and there was deep fat fryer over it, and the cooking oil got overheated. Okay, so cooking oil got overheated, and no one was inside after the restaurant is closed, and mainly the security guard who lives there, he was also outside the gate. So what happened in around one hour or so? So it engulfed into the fire, the complete fat fire. The flame was visible in CCTV. So flame erupted, and the system that was installed in the hood, the wet chemical fire suppression system, that automatically activated and it suppressed the fire. So when store was about to open in next day, when the staff comes in next day to operate that store, they went inside and they saw there is something unusual. Because the system worked, nobody was aware what was happened in night. Even the alarm was raised, fire officer went there, he tried to search what happened, but he could not find any trace of fire there. Next day we searched out the CCTV footage, and it was clearly everything was recorded there. So if you have good system in place, so it will work in time, and it can reduce so many fire emergency, it can save property, it can save lives also. So there are many fire incident you cannot control in 100% manner, like you cannot guarantee that there will be no fire incident in future if you have a good system in place. But if you have good system in place, you can always detect the fire at initial stage, you can suppress the fire at small stage. If your staff is trained, they can act in proper manner. If required, they can evacuate themselves from that affected area, and believe me, even though the fire will happen, but it will not cause any damage to property or any individual. So it is very important, we should focus on basic thing, awareness, training, drills, that is required as per regulation. But if you are not paying serious attention to us, then it is none of use. So that is important. So I would urge all of your viewers to please take it seriously. I personally conduct so many drills in a quarter as per requirement, and I see the people's reaction. Some of them are like, "This is waste of time. This is not none of our business." So this should not be the intent of any individual. Let's pay some attention to fire emergency. It can happen, and if it does, then you should know how to react. You should be aware about the fire order of your building in case of emergency, how to evacuate the floor area and where to go. So these small things, that is important. If we start paying attention and we give importance to these things, so I'm sure even bigger cities, we do not have many fire incidents that can cause damages to lives or property. So it's better to prevent fire than to fight.
So it's a saying, prevention is better than cure.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So on that note, as we come towards the closing of our podcast today, Mihir, would you like to share some parting remarks for our audience about the future and what do you see how fire safety should evolve in the future?
Look, in my 18 years of journey so far, if I have to look back 15 years back from here, I would say we are improving. There is no doubt about it. We are improving, and there are many organizations who started paying attention and started hiring fire safety people and giving importance to the compliance and the requirement that is there in their whichever area they are as per industry based requirement. They are trying to implement all those requirement, and we are growing, but it can be a little more rapidly. Like our cities that we started, our cities are growing, urbanization is happening these days, so we need to be more we need to have more proactive approach towards that. I'm sure if we, you and me, will keep making public aware like this through this podcast. I have also my YouTube channel, Fire Safe India by MK, that is I'm running, and I try to help all the fire safety professional actually in terms of upskilling their knowledge. And if your fire safety professionals are, they do have good knowledge and they can pass on the same knowledge to the public, and it can help the safety of the facility, then I believe that my work will be fruitful, and I will be more happy to
Right.
create that channel and sharing my videos on that.
Sure. Thank you, Mihir, for your time today. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on this vital discussion about fire safety in Indian cities. Remember, preparedness saves lives. Share this episode to spread awareness, and let's advocate for better infrastructure and safety measures together. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and make safety a priority in your community. Take care, thank you, and bye bye.